You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Can you imagine what the Board of Education would say if you were granted a lineup in order to examine their private their private parts for an incriminating mole?
Mr. Carter, I think I have a way out of this. We call the police, and we have them send over one of their sketch artists. And this ball breaker can give a description. We can put up wanted posters all over school. Have you seen this? Report immediately to view the ball breaker. Do not attempt to apprehend this as it is armed and dangerous. It was last seen hanging out in the girl locker room at Angel Beach High School.
Porky's is one of the funniest movies ever made, and I dare anyone to disagree with me, especially Nick Poliakini.
No, the funnier part, if you are not watching Mr. Mo Kelly on YouTube, you missed out on the most epic version of Mo. I have known this man for, how long? At least almost 20 years? Well, how long have you been with KFI?
Going on 14 years.
So 14 years. I've known you for the whole time you've been here. I've never seen tears like, you had a couple of tears there, buddy. Like, that was wild.
Well, part of the reason is, one, I discovered that movie with my family. We were all watching it together.
Sure.
And so we felt the same way. So it evokes great memories of my father and family. So
but it was one of those things, and I've experienced this more and more. I mean, call me an old man or get off my lawn or whatever, but watching people enjoy things is something that is so much better now, be it my nieces who are young or all the way through Mr. Mo Kelly. Like, cause you bring such a joy, and like, it's a different experience when you're watching it. Cause I mean, if you don't know what Porky's is, if you haven't seen it, you got some homework to do.
Yeah, you have to see Porky's.
Correct.
It's one of the most vulgar.
Really, truly. Well, you heard the bleeps. You know it was there. Like,
yeah, but also the physical.
No, right. It's very,
with
very
the
much
glory
so.
hole and
Yes,
everything.
yes.
You know, it's. And for Sex and the City fans.
Oh yeah,
I think that's the first appearance of Kim Cattrall.
That's her best work.
Yeah.
Woo.
Woo.
I love
it. Anyhow, Nick Poliakini, great to see you.
What's up? Good to see you. Good to be here. I want to start out with things, although if you're visiting or following us on YouTube, you can see him decked out in a bunch of Disney stuff as per usual. I'll get to that in a bit. Y'all, I got to talk to you because it took me 2 hours today from Anaheim all the way to Burbank. And this is something I've been meaning to say for a very long time because this is, 50,000 watts of power at my disposal. Did y'all forget how to use a blinker or a turn signal in the pandemic? Because there were at least 6 times in that run from Anaheim to Burbank that I was almost in a crash. In fact, to the point that one of the people had their Instagram on the back of their car, and I literally messaged them like, you literally almost ran into me because you had to make that transition from the 5 North to the 10 East over in like the Boyle Heights area. I don't know what is going on. Now I know there's so much happening about it.
The pandemic did break us in many ways.
Sure.
And etiquette, social norms, all of that went out the window.
Yeah.
Post-pandemic, we see it in movie theaters.
That's true. Yeah.
Just in our general interactions, and also it includes driving on freeways.
Oh, it was wild. And I mean, you have to think for my time with iHeartRadio. I mean, of the 18 years that I was with this company, 12 of the 18 I was doing traffic. So just being out there and seeing it, and also the more entertaining thing is, everything feels like a recommendation now, as opposed to an actual law. Like you can't, double yellow lines, you can't cross those. I see people, and it's not just one. I see 3 or 4 people. Oh, they did it. We're going to get away with it. So anyway.
You know why? Because they don't enforce those traffic laws like that anymore.
Yeah, but let me tell you something, sir, about that. No, because I will readily admit it, because we like to have honesty and transparency on Later with Mo Kelly, but just in general, I just got the first ticket I have gotten in ages, and it was for texting and driving.
Shame.
Which is fine.
Shame.
Can I get a shame? Yeah.
Shame.
Sam, do you have a shame bell for me?
There's a Hillary Clinton shame on you on the board.
Anyway, I was just saying, no, I haven't had a ticket in I don't know how many years. CHP 710 southbound going into Long Beach. And this was even the best part. I saw him. He saw me. It was another 3 miles. He wasn't even like, and he literally, when I got pulled over, he said, I lost you. It must have been a real quiet day on the 710 to be able to trail me for 3 miles because he lost me, then to issue me the ticket for the texting drive. Now, granted, I'm saying this right now, and since then, I have been a good boy, and I am not.
Did he ask? Did he pull you over and say, do you know why I pulled you over?
No, he literally goes, I saw you texting and driving. Like, it wasn't even one of those moments.
Oh.
It was literally, I pulled you over because I saw you texting and driving. And then he said, and I lost you for 3 miles. But the funnier, and he literally admitted, but it's not like you took off and were running or trying to flee from me. I just lost you because traffic was that heavy. I'm like, wow, you were real determined to get me that ticket.
Isn't there like a rule like, look, after a mile and a half, you got to let me go?
That's what I would think. I would absolutely think. But like, do you remember when we talk about quotas? Like, it's like, this is 100% what that felt like. Nicest officer, Officer Montez, but nicest guy.
Out him, CHP?
Oh, absolutely. I will absolutely. I think it's Eric Montez. Like, I will absolutely out him, but 100%. But nicest guy, polite, professional. But you know what? It's like, you tailed me for 3 miles to give me the. All right, I see.
Shame.
Shame. Sam,
shame
you get it?
on you.
Okay.
How much is the ticket for texting?
Probably like $400.
Yeah. It's like $3.
I'm being serious.
No, it is, because I was going to say, it's going to, by the time all the fees are applied, and this is what I'm saying, like, so the only reason I'm bringing this up, other than being a whiny old white man, is to say that it's a thing to be smart and don't get the ticket. Also for safety, because we've obviously with Stafouche and in the car accident he had, but it's just be smart about it. But I am just it's bizarre to me that we're in this world, and again, pandemic or, be damned. So much has changed, and just being able in 2 hours of sitting in traffic from Orange County to LA County, it was such a wild experience just to be cut off and near misses and everything else. And again, as I was observing, as I have already been ticketed for now, a bunch of people were texting and driving.
Shame.
That's the shame bell?
He can't find other.
It's fine.
It's a little shaming.
It's fine. Hold on.
You can't find shame.
I used to have the
Game of
shame
Thrones?
app. There used to be an app.
You couldn't find our Hillary shame on you on the board?
That's
Sam?
so funny.
I'm sure. I'm looking. There's a lot of things on here.
Okay.
Well, now that I cleared and got everything off my chest, I do have more things to talk about.
We have another segment or two.
Oh, good. I like it.
We don't have anything at the bottom of the hour, so you got plenty.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Well, then we'll cover that all in a second.
There's Hillary.
There we go.
Hillary, I missed you.
Shame on you.
She's no Hannah Waddington.
That's true.
Shame on you.
You get both the ding and the shame.
Cops are serious about that, though. I was pulled up at a stoplight, completely
Oh, see,
stopped.
there we go. Yeah.
And I had my phone out, and a cop pulled up next to me and just really angrily motioned for me to put the phone down. And I didn't understand.
As they type on their keyboard.
Well, no, and the funny part to go like, and this is definitely, I was in the wrong, but I was literally putting in navigation where I was going. That's why I had the phone.
Oh, they don't care.
No,
That
it
doesn't matter.
has nothing. It has nothing at all.
But you can eat a sandwich with both hands, and they won't say anything to you.
Oh, that's the truth. Let's see. Can I do this? Oh, it's not working. Okay. I went and found the Shame app. There's even an app for
From Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones. Yeah.
There's a shame app?
Yeah.
That's
Hold on.
Grindr, right?
No, hold on. The funnier, no, probably more sniffies, but that's a different story. We'll have to do that in the.
I'm not looking that up on a work computer.
Yeah, please don't.
boy.
Later with Mo Kelly after dark.
Not safe.
Coming to a YouTube channel near you.
Be arriving, right?
Well,
I think it's time to go to break.
I think that sounds about right.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Nick Pagliocchini. What's up with Nick is on to tell us all what he do. Nick Pagliocchini. What's up with Nick is on with $3.99 for you. Nick Pagliocchini. What's up with Nick is on to give us fun things to do around SoCal. What's up with Nick is on with Mo Kelly and his crew.
KFI later with Mo Kelly, Nick Pagliocchini. What's up, man?
Well, it's been a busy couple of weeks, and you know that I've been talking about Halloween already. And if you're following us on YouTube right now, you can see me in all of my splendor. of Mickey Pumpkins. And I have spent the last 2 days at the Disneyland Resort. Yesterday for a VIP tour. Today for a special treat, I got to go visit the exclusive club, Club 33. They have a lounge called 1901 at Disney California Adventure. So I got to go check that out. And it was specifically because they have an Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas overlay at the club. So that was very, very cool. I'll be posting some pictures to my social media for that. Nick Poliokini. And this weekend with Nick on Instagram, on TikTok, you name it, it's there. But I have something really cool that I would hope that you, if you have any inkling of things that go bump in the night, that you'll be able to visit this weekend. So Creep It Real OC is an event that I've been working with for a good number of years. And especially this year with me not having been on the radio full time, I'm actually working on a special project with them. You can actually go and hear Creep Radio, KREP Radio at the event this weekend, taking place in Santa Ana, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's actually kind of radio theater, if you will. So there's 3-hour blocks from the event opens every day at 4 o'clock and it runs till 10 o'clock. From 4 until 7 before the sun goes down, it's one set of things, and you'll hear myself and some very familiar voices, as well as from 7 to 10 p.m., things get a little bit darker, things get a little bit turned. So you can still get tickets to the event that is happening at the Heritage Museum of Orange County in Santa Ana, again happening this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you have any interest in hearing some really fun radio-ish drama, plus the cooler thing for me, and I'm very excited about this, R.L. Stein will be there on Sunday. So I'll be there. Jeff DePauli, who's a good friend of mine, he does Disney Coast to Coast. He will also be hosting the panel and the discussion with R.L. Stein on his career and Goosebumps coming to Disney Plus and all these other things going on. So definitely something to check out. And, it's only around this weekend. Now, what's coming up next week is when things really get heavy into the Halloween season, because you've got Six Flags Fright Fest kicking off on the 18th. You have Not Scary Farm kicking off on the 18th. You've got Delusion from 13th Floor, which is one of the coolest immersive events in a beautiful historical home in Los Angeles that's kicking off. And then you've also got everything going off in San Diego. So we've talked about the music festivals that they had over the summer at SeaWorld. Here we come upon Hallow Scream, which is a really cool immersive event for you at SeaWorld. If you have not been to SeaWorld and you know there's been a bit of controversy, we've talked about it here on Later with Mo Kelly. Specifically, it's one of those scenarios where things have changed, and specific to Hallow Scream, it's something that comes from Busch Gardens, which is part of the SeaWorld family of theme parks, mostly on the East Coast. But this is something that they've done, and we've had it here 4 or 5 years. But what they do is the east or south side of the park all becomes this huge immersive event. So very, very much like Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights or for Scary Farm and Knott's. You are able to check out all these things that they do. And it's really impressive because it's where the rides are. So there's not even animals involved in the SeaWorld portion of it. You're getting to experience that. But also, starting out is going to be the Haunted Trail at Balboa Park, which has been around for many, many years. If you are already annoyed with Halloween, good luck, because next week things are going to be kicked into overdrive, truly.
Yeah,
are you a Halloween person or no?
No.
Like any of this, because like the thing is, and I would never drag you through one of these attractions, but it'd be really kind of cool to take you along. Because I mean, this stuff.
Nobody touches me, I'm good.
No one will touch you, but they'll get real close. Because even we've got Dark Harbor coming up at Queen Mary, which would be really fun.
Yeah, if someone gets in my face, I'm kicking him in the nuts. I mean, it's just mind my space, man. Don't invade my personal space.
No, I understand it, but that's what's part of the event. Like that's part of it, and I think it's so unique. In fact, going just to Disney last 2 days and just messing around with people, with being able to scare them. And, I did, both Not Scary Farm, and then I was a monster for them for a few years, and then also Shipwrecked, which became Dark Harbor at Queen Mary, worked with them for a number of years. So, once a monster, always a monster, even if you, have a different mask that you're wearing.
Hey, looking at the screen right now, we have your slide.
My side by side, yes.
Yes, okay. And I like your hat.
Oh, I know where we're going with this one.
Okay, I want everyone to go to YouTube right now so you can see the slide of Nick Poliokini, what he used to look like.
Yes.
Like 3-4 months ago.
Yeah, I was going to say that's absolutely it. And then now you're going to want to see what I walked in and saw Mo. Yes. So this is even more entertaining. This is kind of, It's a lot of air conditioning, which I'm very pleased with.
You can feel the air.
Yeah, I was like, and you can hear, like, this is your ASMR. I don't know how that plays in, but
you had to be seeing this on YouTube.
Yeah, so I
shaved it all off.
Yes, my husband, who's been with me for 14 years, who absolutely refused to take scissors or a razor or anything to my head, was absolutely into it because I haven't been working. I've been unemployed. And so I want to save money. And one of the places that I was, saving some money was not getting my hair cut on a regular basis. But it's hot. And Brian doesn't like long hair. And what's the smartest thing? You make, happy. I mean, granted, not my wife, but happy wife, happy life kind of concept.
I don't even say that. I say happy wife, happy 15 minutes.
Happy 15 minutes.
Because it's going to change like the weather.
Right. So, so you'll be able to see that also, Nick Poliokini this weekend with Nick, because I filmed the whole process in our backyard. And just, it's wild, but so I've got, the best kind of air conditioning here, but it's so nice to be 43 years old and, anything that's a bald spot. Yeah, but it's any bald spots that I've got, they're my own fault or Brian's.
Well, here's the thing about aging. They'll come out of nowhere and it happens fast.
Yeah.
I mean, just like fast. Like as you get older, how you age, it's exponentially faster for some reason. I don't know why that is.
Right.
It's
I don't know. This also goes with how we started out. It's like, I've got some gripes. Now that's also showing my age.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Very much like get off my lawn with that thing.
I fully embrace that portion of my life where I hate everything young. The music is too loud.
Right.
It's too much profanity. And I don't like children being heard. They should just be seen.
Yes.
I am very much that guy.
No, I get it. I get it.
You're a child. Why are you speaking? I was very much brought up in that environment where, hey, adults are talking over here. Go away.
And I don't know if it was the same for you, but I was in the same vein, but it was like also the unspoken word. If you want to go and do these cool things, you need to just go sit there in the corner.
That's right.
Thing. So there were so many things that with my parents growing up that I was able to do or travel that we were able to take. And it was because we minded our P's and Q's. Truly,
It wasn't an explicit rule, but it was an understanding where if you acted out in public, you got your ass beat in public. Because my mother especially wanted to send a message like, no, this behavior is not allowed in my household.
Which makes sense.
Don't look at me as a bad mother. I'm going to discipline him in the here and now.
Right. No, that makes perfect sense because it was also that representation of, carrying over what was happening behind closed doors. No, we have full transparency.
That's right.
And I get that completely. So it's kind of wild, but I think this year has been unique because I've had more time on my hands. So I've been able to really, as we're talking about family, my niece Haley just started volleyball with the Boys and Girls Club. And it was wild just to see all the things, but also, again, getting out there and seeing these different developments of children and where kids are now and how parents are doing it. And especially when you're going to organized sports, that's a whole different ballgame.
Oh, so true.
On top of it, because everybody's a coach.
Or thinks they are.
Right. I was like, no, the armchair quarterback is literally there, but in the bleacher.
Everyone thinks their kid is going pro.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, they're not.
Which I would love it if they did, because that means scholarships and everything else, but you're absolutely correct.
It's not happening.
So, yeah.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. Why don't you just hang around for a little longer?
If you don't mind,
I'm just shooting the breeze.
I'll do it.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mo Kelly, Nick Poliokini. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. Nick, what is still going on with you?
Trying to think about what's happening. I mean, literally, and not to continue through with the Halloween stuff, but it's been such an inundation. The thing that I think this year has really, and I kind of teased it a bit before on the last break, is I'm super heavily involved with my family, and I always have been, but a lot of time has not been available. So one of, if you would consider it a joy of unemployment, is being able to be a part of the family a little bit more and have a little bit more availability for that. The same niece that is just taken on volleyball for the very first time also is going or hoping to go into student government. The interesting thing though is she, and I think it's 3 of her best little girlfriends, they're all running for the same 2 positions. So it's interesting to talk to her and then to hear my sister as well talking about it, because that's a whole different ballgame. And we talk a lot about politics here, like, quote unquote adult politics here on KFI. But to think that it starts at such a young age, I mean, she's 8 years old. She's, in grade school, but it's that whole concept of going through and She's working on her speech the first time that she'll be addressing her. But I think it's great, but it's so funny because these are the things that I really want you to, outside of all the fun and activities that fun and exciting activities that I always talk about, is, what's in your backyard, but also what's at home. And it's so fun to be a part of. Right. I've always been there with the kids, but to do that, my niece in Long Beach, Emily, she's in middle school now. So it's wild to just see the things that are changing, and especially because of the environment that we are in just naturally, being able to be a part of them as they're going to sports or performing arts or, politics. It's such a cool and different experience. So I think that's something that I'm also been able to kind of, through social media, being able to give a little bit of transparency and pull back the curtain on what life looks like. But for us, I should say, in Southern California, it's been kind of that lull where Halloween is the only thing that's ruling the roost at the moment. Now, it's so weird because the last handful of years, Halloween starts July 5th and it pretty much runs the end of summer. We almost don't even have back to school because, if you want to go with Walmart and Target as your anchors, you can kind of tell what seasonality is coming by what's in the store on display. And Costco even, Costco has already moved on to Christmas now.
Yeah.
Which I think is wild to me. It's just so time is moving and time is just flying by to experience all these things that are coming. One of the cool things that is coming that we'll be here in a couple of weeks. We've talked about it before. I've talked about it before. But South Coast Botanic Garden over in the South Bay, beautiful garden, amazing space. They'll be taking on a Halloween event this year as well, and it'll be more of a family friendly kind of walkthrough for you to be able to do. We've also visited. That would be Night of the Pumpkins, and then Night of the Jack-o'-lanterns, is taking place, or coming up here soon, taking place out in Calabasas on one of the ranches. And that was one of the cooler places that actually was able to do a socially distanced version of a drive-through event during the pandemic, but then it's been able to transition back into something more in person. Also coming up, and they did a summer event with carnivals, but you'll be able to do the haunted car wash coming up here soon, both in Lakewood. There's a location in Orange County, Lakewood being in LA County, and then I believe there might be a place in Ventura County this year as well. So there's just so much happening for you. But I think, again, because I was so busy for 18 years and really poured myself into radio and media, and also there weren't kids around, and now I'm really being able to get into it. So it's so unique and special to be a part of something that's different and something that's out there. Because, again, I talk about Disney, I talk about Knott's, all that stuff. People call me a Disney adult or however that plays out. But to be a part of it and be able to see the magic through not just kids' eyes, going to a special tour yesterday with some people who had never been to Disneyland before, and watching grown adults just have that experience of joy and excitement and entertainment and everything at a place, that costs a pretty penny to get in the door, but then to see exactly what kind of value that brings to you kind of mentally, emotionally, and physically outside of what it does to your pocketbook is also such a unique experience. Because for you have, martial arts, and you have other things at your outlet, and then cruising, as we know.
Hey.
And you had the most amazing trip to Europe. But what else do you got? Like, what else is there for you guys? Is there anything?
Isn't that enough?
Obviously not. You know what kind of schedule I keep.
Yeah,
so.
but
which I know I'm very different, and
free time is a valuable asset to possess.
Okay,
where you don't necessarily have to be somewhere.
Well, I think that's a really good point, because that's also something. Sometimes it is good to be bored. Sometimes it's good to be alone with your thoughts, and sometimes it's good to not do anything or go anywhere. Because I think those are the more entertaining parts. Is I always have the situation of when I have a weekend that I don't do anything, and I'll forget because I didn't do anything, or I have an over inundated weekend and I still forget what I did. If it wasn't, and that's the weird part, because we now live. Some people are great and they live in the moment. I try to do that, but as you can see through social media, I also like to share it. That's so helpful, because then I can remember what I did.
Yeah, I got news for you. As you get older, get another decade on you.
I got you.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah.
Memory.
Well, I was going to say, so I'll keep it going there, but I'll keep bringing in more events to Later with Mo Kelly to be able to share with you. So you
bring food now. Don't just bring events.
No, don't you worry. And it's so funny because I actually have something coming up, cookies and cream style for that. To go back to the Girl Scouts earlier from tonight, I'm disappointed that they've never had a cookies and cream. To my knowledge,
I have thought about that out loud many times. I don't know. for me, they have too many choices.
They do.
Honestly.
Well, and it's funny because like I was trying to get in on the conversation earlier. Tag-alongs. That's the thing. Don't sleep on the tag-alongs because that's going to be the cookie that's the shortbread with the peanut butter in it that's chocolate covered. And the other thing that always makes me laugh with Girl Scouts, I mean, this is just randomly in the weeds now, but there's two different bakeries that it comes out of. So what we know as a tag-along or a Samoa has a completely different name on the East Coast. Like the things that we know here.
But there is this thing called the internet. It's not like
you're right.
They can really segment that.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
But back in the day, but it's so funny to think about that. And that was the huge controversy. Now, I guess Rocky Road is kind of akin to cookies and cream portions of it. But
I was trying to reason with that with myself. I was like,
right. No. But I think it's so funny because how much money, and that's the other thing too, how much money do we spend on these things? Experiences, but even like just the food. You were talking about it earlier, specific to donating the money to these kids.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I don't need a $6 or $8 box of cookies.
No, and I will give them like a $20 bill or something because I'm not going to eat the cookies.
Right.
I don't want to eat the cookies.
Correct.
Have you ever read the label?
Yes.
As far as
Oh,
the
no,
sodium
right.
and the sugar and everything? It's like, I can't do that stuff anymore. Like 4 cookies is 400.
Well, that's how
grams
you
of
ration,
sodium.
of course.
Yeah.
Yes. But then Sam and I were talking off air. Sam, are you there? Are you around? I don't know if you're.
Oh, yeah, I'm right here.
Okay. The thing that we're going to do or encourage the Girl Scouts to do, which probably can't, is, and I know other people have said it, we're not the originators of this idea, but like, why don't I see Girl Scouts in front of dispensaries?
Yeah.
Right?
I can tell you why.
I mean,
Intellectually,
sure.
you know why.
Intellectually, I know why.
Yeah.
But feasibility wise, you know what, Mom and Dad? I've got Flight on Cherry down the street, walking distance from my house.
Right. You got
and it
all these
only makes
hungry
sense.
people.
Well, the funny part is
Spending money.
the Flight on Cherry, which is my local dispensary, backs up to a Chevron station. Just go talk to the owner of the Chevron station and put your cookies right across the way. Then it's fine. It's easy. It's good.
Yeah, it would not be a good look because they're supposed to take pictures when they're at the grocery store and everything. And they take the picture and they're from the dispensary and they're a national organization. It's probably not a good look.
No, but I think the even more entertaining part is half the strains have Girl Scout cookie names.
No, it's true.
Like I was going to
It's
say,
true.
like they're Girl Scouts had nothing to do with it, but they are integrated.
Yes.
With, having it, because even Do-si-dos are specifically a strain.
Yeah.
And see, it's like Sam and I do have a bit of knowledge down this path, but beyond that, it's kind of wild. So we're solving problems here on Later with Mo Kelly.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. No one cares, but we're solving
No,
problems.
it's fine. It's perfectly fine.
Okay, and very quickly.
Yes, sir.
What are some of your movies on your all-time list?
This is okay. So I love Dangerous Minds because I was thinking about that. That is eons ago with Michelle Pfeiffer. I know. I love Mo Space.
And I've seen the movie, so I'm trying to.
Soundtrack was better.
Yes, the soundtrack was incredible. I love the soundtrack. I mean, maybe
You talking
incredible.
about with
is too strong a
Coolio?
word. Yes. See, but this is it. Okay.
I was thinking, like, does he mean Dangerous Liaisons, not Dangerous Minds?
No. Didn't we already talk about crud, choices here?
No, I get it. I'm just trying to figure out what was the good part of the movie.
Right. I get you. But for me, It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street.
Okay.
And
no Halloween-ish
White
movies?
Christmas. Anything. John Carpenter, who I just was able to sit down and talk to a couple of weeks ago with Midsummer Scream.
Wait a second. Exactly, Mark.
Burying the lead.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You should have led with that.
Well, there's
you talk about all things Halloween, and you don't mention John freaking Carpenter.
So John Carpenter was featured prominently at Midsummer Scream in Long Beach a couple of weeks back, and I was able to sit
live everywhere.
All right, I'll shut
Runaway
up.
show.
But I was able to take and sit down with him and his wife and have a nice little chit chat.
All right, hold that thought because
Yes.
we got to go to break.
Of course.
Because Sam was trying to rush us off the air. Make us go to break.
My bad.
On the other side, we'll talk to George Norrie, and then you'll tell us about John freaking Carpenter. We're talking like the Fog, the Thing,
Escape from New York,
all of that.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
All right, before we get out of here, Nick, you were. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
No, you're good.
No, Sam, I'm going to toss it to you because you're still ruminating over your greatest movies list.
Yeah. No, I've got a few that I've been thinking of. Obviously, Last Dragon's my favorite film of all time. In Bruges is right up there as far as my favorite movies. That's a
Haven't seen that
fantastic
one.
film.
It's terrific.
A great movie. Banshees of Inisherin, same kind of energy on that one as well.
Same cast.
Yeah, same cast. Also, Breakin', the 80s breakdancing movie. Love that movie.
You may have loved it, but it's not a great movie.
That's not great. Stupendous. Splendiferous.
And I like Breaking from a nostalgia standpoint, but I know that it's ass.
Oh, yeah.
No love for Breaking 2?
Oh, gosh, it's even worse. Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, no, but for me, it's also like you get to see Ice-T. It's the film debut of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I did not know that until relatively recently, and then I saw the footage of him in this black tank top watching the scene unfold.
The dude next to him is Tong Po from Kickboxer.
Yes, I did know that. Yeah. Everyone's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, hey, they started on the beach with Ozone and Turbo.
Yeah, they turned out all right.
Yeah.
Evidently. Nick, you have any other interest?
I was just going to say, going back to when we were talking earlier about John Carpenter and his wife, Sandy King, was able to sit down with them, and Sandy, I mean, both of them, but specifically Sandy launched Storm King Comics. And so that was why we were able to check it out, which, I mean, works actually well here with Later, because we cover a lot of maybe not necessarily heavy duty comic books, but, you know, even with that Nerdorama tie-in.
God, John Carpenter is like, how do you not just like geek out and say, it's John freaking Carpenter?
It was. And I would say he was one of the biggest draws at the event, one of the longest lines. Yeah. But it was so interesting because, and then you and I were talking off the air about Bob Gurr, who's 94 years old now, and one of the original Imagineers with the Walt Disney Company. And he's still cruising. Funny enough, he loves to go on cruises, which we know you're a very big fan of. But these are the things that are kind of fun. We've got a lot of cons that go on here outside of Comic-Con in San Diego. You have Creep IE Con, which happens at the Ontario Convention Center, maybe 2 times a year, actually. Anime Comic-Con, or I'm sorry, LA Comic-Con. We do have our own little thing here. Yep. It's very anime heavy as opposed to San Diego Comic-Con, which, I mean, that's its own beast at this point. People come from around the world for that one. But there's so much that happens. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times, if you've never been to a con before, or you hear about Comic-Con, you're like, I'm not going to go. It is well worth it, because you will be surprised how I could sit down and talk to John Carpenter and his wife for about 20-25 minutes and just kibitzing, and like not an interview or anything like which we normally do here, but being able to just kind of talk to them about their career and their life and everything else.
Well, the bottom line is usually when they go to events like that, they're in the space, the mental headspace where they're ready to talk to people. They know they're amongst the nerds. I mean, it's different from a formal interview situation where they don't know the person from Adam and they don't know how it's going to go. It's very different when you're at a con.
No, totally, because you're able to get a short period of time with them, especially if you're coming through for autographs or pictures or whatever, usually very, very quick. But then especially there's many times where you'll be able to, because they like the cons as well.
Yes.
So they'll break away and then you'll randomly run into them or like sit down and have lunch. It's the weirdest thing anyway.
It's the weirdest because they're usually touring the con as well.
Correct. Exactly. And I was like, we are so lucky here in Southern California. As expensive as it is to live here, as politically unique as it may be between LA County, Orange County, whatever the situation may be, we are so lucky to have access to so many insane things. So I think that's always, as I continue to be that fanboy that is like, get out there and experience what's in your backyard. There's literally things in your backyard, you know, outside of the coyotes, which, you know,
literally in the backyard.
Speaking of which, I did send it to you. Maybe you guys will talk about it at some point, but October 3rd, Coyotes the movie is coming. About a couple, it's a horror comedy about a couple in the Hollywood Hills. Justin Long and I don't remember who the other one was, but yeah. So we're going to have Coyotes full, you know, you talked about it earlier, and now we are full circle. It'll be on the silver screen here very soon.
Quick question. Hey, Mark, on your top 10, give us a movie that has to be on your top 10 before we go.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
I can agree with that.
A work of transcendent genius. I get something new out of it every time I watch it, and I watched it a bunch.
I didn't appreciate it until I was well into my adulthood.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. A lot of people didn't appreciate it when it came out. It has to kind of settle in, like a lot of Kubrick stuff.
Because when I'm younger, I was looking more for the action space opera a la Star Wars, which it's not. And then when you get older, you get an appreciation for the subtlety, the tie-in to human evolution, and better understanding the larger picture, which was a story which was being told.
There is so much in that movie, and I've read a doorstop book about how it was made. It's all just fascinating. The short story by Arthur C. Clarke bears almost no resemblance to
None, because I've read the book.
Yeah, it's a terrific movie, and it still holds up. It came out in 68, 69?
68.
And it's still just terrific. It'll stand alongside anything made now, and it's probably a lot smarter than anything made now as well.
I know we got to go, but would you be able to stand it when, not if, but when someone tries to remake it?
I would take a personal vendetta out against somebody who tried to remake that. That would be like a war crime.
It's going to happen.
For anybody to
It
do
will
that.
happen.
We'll see you tomorrow.
I resist that.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
I condemn it.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating.